Hey, what's up, guys? I decided to make another video. This time on Overlord Season 2. I wasn't able to I just finished watching, so I wasn't able to put it in a cover yet. So yeah, but I just finished watching it. I'm pretty mixed on it, to be honest with you. I think it was really good, but also like it's hard to explain. Like there's not much of Ainz in this season, basically. Like he doesn't do shit, and it feels like the plot doesn't move forward at all, except maybe the last few episodes. But even then, it feels like nothing. Like we get no resolution to what happened to Shaltier. Um, like I don't know. He moves his people. He can control the lizard people now. Basically, is what which that was cool. Like I do like the side stuff. I like seeing all these other characters in the world and showing that like even these strong characters like nothing are up to that level of Ainz, right? So it's like anyone is having trouble defeating even one of his subordinates, like one of the lower ones, like the maid, you know. Um and when you finally do see one of them get, beaten, it's the Spider Girl, which I don't think you saw last season. Um but it's like literally it's only one of the maids and they're on like the lowest tier, so it's kind of like, and it took a lot to do that. So that was something where it's cool. I like building out the world, I like seeing all these different things. um but I just feel the main story went absolutely nowhere. Like, where the fuck was Albedo this season? Got basically nothing with her. She had this moment where she was like, this is stupid, or she says like that, like something like this is stupid, and they tease at the end of an episode, like she's saying like, no, she said Ainz Gold, like I don't know, like it's stupid, what a joke, something along those lines, and they tease that like she's discontent with something, and then we never find out what that is. And she has her few moments with Ainz, but literally like there is nothing for her to do this season. Literally the only thing she does is he asks her to set up a, I don't know, like she does a few small things, but it's like last season, we had her and we had Ainz and we had all that. That's just it. Like if this was like a 23 episode season, I wouldn't mind this as much, especially if it were like spread in. The arcs were spread in differently because they're not really connected. I mean, they are through Ainz, but like, Ainz is barely in it, so it's kind of like, they are and they aren't. But it was something where I'm just sitting here like, enjoying it. Like I really liked the lizard man, lizard people arc. That shit was good. Um, I liked kind of what they were doing with the main guy. I'm forgetting his name. The maid. Not the maid. The guy who leads the maids. That one guy. I forgot his name. But the butler looking dude. Uh, he was cool. I like that somewhat. It got a little bit like where I'm like, I don't know. Um, like where he got a romance thing now, which is like, okay, I guess whatever. I mean, I prefer actually something happened between Ainz and Albedo, but whatever, I guess. Uh, you know, um, Vampire Shaltier does absolutely fucking nothing this season. Does even less than Albedo. Um, but yeah, I don't know. So like there were these like I don't know three or four different arcs, I guess. Like there's the lizard people. There's the original, uh, the butler guy working saves that girl. Then there's the she gets kidnapped, and then there's the fuck the battle with Demiurge. I forget what they use. Like they use the fake name, where it reveals oh he's this big demon, and he's pretending to be the leader and all this shit. And it's like that was cool. Like that was kind of cool. But then it was like it didn't really amount to anything. Nothing changed. Like like I like seeing Ainz, like I mentioned last season, when he goes out, like, and he fights and he does all this, and he does none of that this season. It's once again like they did show how strong he was, but it's like they keep showing you how strong his subordinates are, and then he isn't doing anything. Which I mean, I know he's the leader, so like you don't have to do as much, but it's like, where's like the going out conquering the world? Where is that? Like instead, we're just getting this. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You know, um introducing all these characters that like like I said, I mean, I haven't like where I was watching it, and I'm like, I don't really like that character. It's just like it's not what I specifically wanted. I guess it just felt like filler in between something, but it was the whole season practically. Because I don't even know where the fuck they're gonna go with Demiurge, like now being this big demon that's well known, and you know, Adventurer Mon or whatever. He's higher up now. People know him, but that's literally about it. Like that's all that it went. And I was hoping like we'd get like him revealing himself to the world, which is something I really want to see. I want to see him be like, I am here. And I do prefer, like, I do like what he does this season. He's not like a villain, like I said, like he's kind of, but he's still not evil. Like the only moment where I was like, what the fuck, that doesn't feel like him, was when he ordered Sabas, whatever. I'm saying his name wrong. I know I am, but Sebas. Um, he orders him to kill that girl that he saved, and he almost does it. And I was like, that doesn't feel like him. But then they're like, oh, Demiurge said that, so it was like, said to do that, and he went with it. But other than that, like, he didn't really do that much. I'm trying to think because I was just jumping around because I was thinking like a few episodes ago when I was watching this. I'm like, damn, I really like am kind of mixed about this, and they really did have their good moments in this season. They really did, but it just felt like kind of like a different show, like a spinoff or something. Like, we're following the Knights Captain. We're following that guy from season one who Shaltier like fought, and then it's like, we got the whole thing with the princess and the prince and all these fucking people, um, which was interesting. Like at first when they reveal like that the princess is fucking psycho, I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm like, oh, she's not that bad. Yandere chick, she's in love with you. I'd be like, if I was whatever the fuck his name is, I'd take it. But then next episode, she's like, oh, I'd like to chain him up and make it where he can't go anywhere. It's like, okay, but yeah, so she had an interesting thing going on with her. How she's some psycho or something, which I mean, it was interesting to be revealed. Like I have no idea exactly really what the purpose of that is. It's just to like reveal that like this, it's like this normal romance between a knight and his princess, but she's super in love with him and creepy as fuck and doing all this shit or whatever. And they're doing the, oh, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill everyone who was ever mean to the guy. It's like Corbus or something like that, I think, but I that could be completely wrong. I don't know, but it was something where it's like, okay, like it is a cliche, like the knight falling for the princess. So I mean, like his specifically like the bodyguard. Um, so I was like, okay, that's interesting. I guess like her just being psycho was really like came out of left field. I think because they were setting her up as like, oh, this nice girl, whatever. Which obviously that was for the twist, but I just feel like with that, what does it matter really? Um, I mean, the guy is. They reveal like that the prince, the fat prince, like he's a piece of shit. But like in that scene where he's sitting with them, sitting with the princess and with uh, one of the lords or whatever, and he's like sitting there, he's being a bit of an asshole, and she comes up there and she's like doing this creepy shit, and then he's just kind of like uncomfortable. It's like, damn, it almost like for that one scene, it made me feel like, well, like not even for the full scene, but like for a minute, I was like, damn, okay, so he's he's like the normal one, he's not that bad, but no, he's still a piece of shit, but still, um, and I don't know, like now that I'm thinking about it, talking about it out loud, I'm just wondering like, how does this connect? Like, yes, the character, is cool and he's trying to get stronger and he's doing all this stuff, but it's like, what about the main plot? Like, I want some, like, where is it? Like, the more I think about this season, the more I'm just like, fuck, nothing happened anywhere. Um, like I said, the lizard people, that's literally as far as they went, which I mentioned last season, like, oh, we're gonna take it over. And then they do that whole thing. I love that though, where it's like, he's getting all the people to all the lizard clans to team up. That shit was cool as fuck, and then get me invested in like a fucking lizard man romance, which I'm like, okay, I'm in, I love it. You know, that was good. But just thinking like on that final shit, it's like what I mean, I thought that it was interesting, the whole like like I said, it is building the world out, but it's like it doesn't connect enough, especially to Hines, like specifically. It'll be his subordinates, and they'll mention Hines, like, oh, we're, it's four Hines, it's da da da, it's Hines, but he's not doing shit. Well, I don't want to say he's not doing anything, but it's like, you know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. Like, it's just like he's not making big moves, um, like he was in season one. Like I said, the biggest move he makes is the lizard people, and then at the end, it's all Demigorge or whatever, the guy like with the fucking suit and the circle glasses. It's all him, like like making a plan and doing all that shit. So he's not even doing anything, and they kind of also make him feel stupid sometimes, where it's like you get his inner monologue. It's like, oh, I didn't think of that. Da-da-da. It just made him feel like a bit stupid. Like, cause last season, like he had that moment where when he was fighting Shaltier, and it was like, he planned this whole thing, and there was like another moment I can't remember exactly where I was like, oh shit, like yeah, everything's falling into place, and that feels awesome. But then, sorry, but then for the rest of the season, he's like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Like they act like I know what's, but I don't know what's going on. So, he felt like a little dumber this season. Not completely. I don't know. I don't want to really make that a complaint. It's just something I noticed where it was like, especially at the end where they make this huge plan. It's like he didn't even know what the plan was, and he let Demi or whatever do it. Um, which the plan is interesting. Like I like the idea of like, okay, someone's coming up. These demons. They're searching for this item, and he comes in, and they do this really good scene at the end of an episode where he comes in as the adventurer, and he's like, okay, so which one of you am I fighting? And you actually don't know, because it's like, okay, he could be fighting Demiurge, like whatever his fake name is that they use, I forget. Or this chick who was killing the spider girl, whatever, bug girl, whatever. So it was like you didn't know which one. That was a good like thing at the end where I was like, oh shit, where's it gonna go? And then of course right next episode it's like, oh, it was a plan, and doing all this, and it was like, okay, that kind of like, I mean, it would have been a plan no matter what if he was fighting against Demiurge or whatever. But I was just thinking like, I don't know. I was just thinking it would have been. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. And there's like the next episode where they play the I don't know if they play the opening or the ending or whatever, like on the background, like towards the end of the episode, like where the credits should be. I fucking love when they do that in anime. Like I love when they do that. And this one specifically reminded me of like Tokyo Ghoul. Especially the one like where they're planning out the attack for the last episode. Uh, you know, for whatever, because Demier is supposed to be, he's faking being there to steal an item that can summon them or something like that. Which, once again, it's like, okay, you've had us this like whole season, basically the whole fucking season, just showing us this. Yeah, so what I'm talking about, like they were really only kind of showing the capital, right? And these capital characters and characters we saw before, but I don't know. Sorry, I just trying to think everything through. It's like the more I think about it, really like the needle did not move at all. And they say this thing, and I was watching the episode. At the end, they're like, "Oh, thank you for Overlord season 2. If the fans didn't like it so much, we wouldn't have gotten a season 2." It's like, what the fuck are you doing with it then? I mean, this is probably in the manga, so I get that, but it's like 12 whole. I mean, 13 whole episodes where like I don't know. It feels like everything is had on the back burner. Like now, if you didn't necessarily have Shout here, like to have that whole thing set up where it's like, okay, there's someone out there doing this shit, then it wouldn't be as bad. It would still be noticeable because it's like, why are we mostly following like Sebas and you know, and the night guy and the fucking bandit guy from season 1. It's like, why are we following these people? But at least you wouldn't have that looming over your head where you're like, yeah, what the fuck went on with that? Because I just remembered that too. I'm like, what the fuck? And then at the end, it's not even teased. And then they also tease in the beginning of the season, the church, state, whatever it is, country, how there are these people, these like fighters or whatever, and we never see any more of them. Like they set up like, oh, we're doing this, we're da da da, and like that one chick was like, oh, is there no man who can defeat me, whatever. It's like we never see her again, which I thought that they would be the villains of season two, because that's kind of what it seemed like they were teasing at the end. Like they were the ones who either controlled Shaltier, because it's not revealed like whether or not it's an actual player who did that or if it's just someone who had a world item. So I mean, it could be. I feel like it'd be more interesting if it was another player, but if you don't want to go that route and it's like okay, then that would be. But like I said, it goes nowhere. And like I said, I didn't dislike the characters. It wasn't like a slog to get through episode after episode. But after a while, when you notice it, you're like, what the fuck? Like, just the absolute, like I keep saying this, but the absolute lack of, like, anything moving forward is kind of crazy. Like I said, I absolutely loved the Lizard Man stuff. That was, like, great. And then, like, the other arcs, I all enjoyed, too. It was a bit annoying with the slave girl that Sabus takes in, where it was like, okay, just tell Hines, like tell him, like that was annoying. Where I'm like, okay, just fucking tell him, like he's not that bad. But then they do that, and she gets invited to Nazaroth and all that, and I like that. And I forget, like they show like, why he did it, because there was a journal that he got from the girl's younger sister or something like that. And I feel like I remember him seeing that journal in the first season, but I can't remember if that's actually true or not. Um, but yeah, so that was, like I said, that was interesting, and these characters are interesting. So I don't want to completely make it seem like, oh, it's not worth watching. It is. It's just when you think about it, it's like, where did this go? Um, and the whole season didn't end up moving the needle. And like in a show, like Naruto or Bleach or I don't know, One Piece or some shit like that, like a filler arc can be 13 episodes, and you're like, okay, that was a good arc. But when the show is 13 episodes per season and we're getting mostly side shit with like no movement forward, like what are we doing? The more I think about it, the more upset I'm getting. But I do want to make it clear, like crystal clear, the season's not bad. It's just I wanted more Hines. I wanted some more movement. He rules the world, type shit. Him moving forward, and we just didn't get that, And it's like nobody even knows Hines. Like at the end of the season, I think it's the prince, the first prince, who's gonna be king or whatever, and he's talking to this like wizard guy, who I'm pretty sure like that's who they are. They don't specifically say, but they're like, oh, this guy Hines, whatever, Hines Olgone, whatever, however you say that shit. Um, we heard about him and he's very strong and all this and all that, and it's like, but nobody else has mentioned him, um, because he hasn't done anything. Like he hasn't showed up as himself in like any public situation, like whether wearing the mask or not. You know, uh, he's just been out as Mon or whatever the fuck his name is. So it's like his name hasn't really moved any further either. And it just like seems like okay, they're pulling it back, and we're going back to that. Um, I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, I really can't. Like I said, I mean, I don't hate this season. Just really thinking about it is like getting me pissed off, because I'm like, come on, dude. But um, yeah. So the things I did like when they when Cybes, whatever, killed that guy in the fucking whorehouse, whatever it was, from the gang. That was clean, like nasty ass fuck. That was nice. And then just at the end, when like when Cybus is eviscerating all the fucking people in the underground, underworld gang, whatever, the Eight Fingers or something like that. I think that's what it is. um That was cool as fuck because they kind of set that up a little bit, like, and then just seeing Cybus like kill that guy was pretty cool. Um, just seeing how strong Cybus is, like you said, like I said before, where it was like, okay, like you see how above level these guys are, even the lower people. Which he's not lower, like he's up there, but I think he's lesser than the floor people. But yeah, that was good too with Corbus. Oh, is it Corbus? The one, the guy, the bug-looking guy who is the warrior and the general and stuff. I thought that was pretty good, like seeing him because he didn't do much last season. So kind of showing like Ain's trying to push him to be like more independent. That made sense to me, and I kind of like that where he's like, because also you're just invested in the lizard people. So when he's like, oh, just wipe them all out, you're like, no, 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 don't do that. Like, don't do that, please. And then end up going with that, and I'm interested to see like what happens with that because it seems like like he is gonna be like a decent ruler, um, which is what I want. Like I said, I want him to rule not by fear, but just like kind of respect, or like a bit of both. I don't know, but I just don't want him to be like a full-on villain taking everything over. But I could see that how that's going, how that could happen. Because it's like, especially if he wants to take over the whole world, how the fuck are you gonna do that without being like a psycho, whatever, like bad guy. Um, yeah, but just seeing that was good. Um, like I said, because we didn't get to see him. We see the fucking victim, who's that other floor guy who we haven't seen before, who's mentioned last season. I don't really know what the fuck's up with him. He has some power where it's like if he die, I don't know. I'm not even gonna explain it because it's like they mentioned it like something with him dying and then you get more power or something, and it was like he was born just to die, so it was like something like that. But I just felt like that was nothing. That was a big load of nothing. Let's see. I'm trying to think, so I don't want to make this video and then be like, oh shit, I forgot to say something. But I think I'm pretty much out with what I'm going to say. I'm going to watch Overlord Season 3. I am going to watch that. I'm hoping that there's more, Ain's and more plot forward. Season 3. I'm not once again, I'm not saying that this was a bad season, but if you add some more movement when you're doing this, like, oh, the princess is here and all these other people and all this other shit, you add all these other characters, it's like at least have like them connect to the main thing, like where something's happening, they hear about Heinz, something like that, like somewhere we're going somewhere. I just want to see that, give me a bit more main story, and then you can obviously, top me up with the side stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's about it. Let me know what you thought of the season. Could anybody who's watching this, could you say it's better than season 1? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say, like, once again, it wasn't bad, but like really think about it, like, nah, it was not as good as season 1. But yeah, I'm just keep going around in circles because that's really the main thing I thought when I watched this. And like I say, if you haven't watched it, I bet you have if you watched this video. But if you haven't watched it, it's still worth a watch. It's just to kind of know what you're getting into with that. So anyway, that's about it. Peace.